In this episode, we check out of Langkawi and sail to Penang, where we are reunited with some old friends and we explore Georgetown in all its beauty.
So I said, hey, don't you wanna come and run away with me? Hey, won't you come? And say by chance, don't you want a man who fully understands a sailor's heart, a sailor's heart.
What do you got there, love?
This is exciting.
A little bit excited?
Oh, a little bit. Yeah, we've already taken the old shitbox dish off. KVH. Getting ready for the Starling dish. With any luck now, KVH will go broke. The prices they used to charge were just absolute extortion. So this is such a game changer. I cannot wait to get this installed.
You!
Yeah. Alrighty.
Unboxing. With our new Starlink system installed, we leave Reback Marina, calling into the port of Langkawi, where we need to clear out from. On our walk along the foreshore, we spot lots of wildlife, including large water monitors and this funny little squirrel. I know. We clear out with the harbour master and immigration, but things don't go so smoothly with the powers that be at customs. But eventually, we're on our way with our new friends on Woden. When I spot a mast that looks like an island, I later realise it's actually a tugboat pulling a huge load. Another fishing boat crosses our path, but this time he fortunately isn't trawling. We also spot many of these obstacles in the water. They appear to be fads that are made out of the trunks of coconut palms. One thing is for sure, you certainly wouldn't want to hit one, so sailing through here at night could be quite treacherous. Arriving in Penang by evening, we awake to outrigger cruise and the pretty skyline of Penang. We find a spot in Straits Quay Marina and set off to explore. Penang is known as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, offering glimpses into Penang's colonial past as well as its multicultural heritage. Georgetown's narrow streets are lined beautifully with heritage buildings, a treasure trove of street art, hawker stands and trendy cafes, and the food you can find here is just as incredible. We are reunited with fellow sailing family, the Cossimers, and they pick us up and drive us around the streets to explore. India and Malaysia.
Nothing like India.
Do you know, and this is it, like the pockets, even where we are, there's suburbs where they all have lived. So there's like Indian restaurant after Indian restaurant, Indian grocer, sari shop. You literally feel like, again, you're in Malaysia, but you're not. You're in India.
I love that.
Awesome.
We find a place to park and set out on foot. And there's so much to see, from craftsmen going about their day and beautiful old buildings. But it's the street art that really catches your eye. Some of these famous works are interactive. From children to musicians, striking portraits, and funny faces. There are flying diamonds and comic art made from steel rods. There are dogs and there are cats. The cat murals were part of an art installation called Lost Kittens. There's historical firehouses and letterboxes. Anna and Tudor take us to one of their favourite places, Cafe X Art Gallery, where the specialty are decadent cakes. And if you're feeling inspired while you sip your coffee and eat your cake, you can come up with your own creation. There are details everywhere you look. Anything goes in Georgetown, even a cheese coffee, would you believe? And there are famous laneways like Love Lane. There are laneways filled with colourful windmills, and this famous laneway adorned with colourful umbrellas. We return from our walking tour to find some cute little otters down the end of the dock. There's also a resident water monitor who lives here. Next day, the kids are excited to set out and explore. Penang Hill Funicular Railway climbs the Penang Hill from the outskirts of the city of Georgetown. The railway first opened in 1923 as a two-section railway, but was overhauled in 2010 into a one-section system. Penang Hill Railway was initially constructed for the British colonial community to enjoy the cooler air of the Penang Hill, and I don't blame them. The air is much cooler up here. At the top of the hill sits this vibrant Hindu temple. This classic colonial facade caught my eye. It's a building called the Gatehouse, which was built in 1789 for the governor of Penang. There are many walking trails at the top, but we were time poor, so we cheated. You can tell it's a much cooler climate with these cottage-style gardens. Penang Hill was definitely a fun excursion for the whole family. We made our way back down Penang Hill to visit Kek Lok Si Temple, the largest Buddhist temple in Malaysia and an important pilgrimage centre for Buddhists from Hong Kong, the Philippines, Singapore and other parts of Southeast Asia. This entire complex of temples was built over a period from 1890 to 1930. The main feature of this complex is the 7-storey, 10,000 Buddhas pagoda. We watched on with curiosity as this huge and heavy solid marble statue was hoisted above this temple archway and into place. We made our way into the pagoda and up the 7 flights of stairs. I wasn't counting, but I can tell you, I think there are 10,000 Buddhas in here. And at the top of the hill sits a 36.57 metre bronze statue of the Goddess of Mercy. Many pilgrims who visit this site have prayers written on these ceramic tiles by the resident monk. It is certainly a serene and beautiful place to visit, with plenty to look at. One of our favourite places in Georgetown was Little India, where the food was to die for. And when I spotted these women in their colourful saris, I asked to take their photo, but they insisted I be in it. Little India in Penang was a feast for the senses. It's so vibrant. The smell of incense, the sound of Bollywood music, and the sights of brightly coloured floral garlands, gold and sari stores, the Hindu god of beginnings adorning shrines and stalls, as well as the taste of some of the most amazing Indian food I have ever eaten. We really enjoyed our time here. Another reason for coming to Penang was to get our anchor and chain re-galvanised.
It is. They've cleaned this so much that you can actually read the original stamp. So it's an 80-pound Manson Supreme. 80 pounds, I think I worked out to be about 38 kilos. That's shiny, isn't it? That's a lot.
Our last historical site was Chong Fat Si Mansion, also known as the Blue Mansion. Charlize and I were pretty excited to visit this site because it features in one of our favourite movies, Crazy Rich Asians. Built between 1896 and 1904, it was owned by Chong Fat Si, one of the richest men in Southeast Asia at the time. Although it has an eclectic style, the Blue Mansion reflects mainly Chinese architectural styles from the imperial period, and careful consideration of the principles of Feng Shui were adhered to. The blue colour was very popular in the colonial period and came from mixing the natural dye from the indigo plant with lime. The dye was imported by the British from India, and interestingly, the lime wash was found to be very effective for moisture absorption and cooling the home, perfect in this humid climate. The decor features a lot of blue accents, and we stopped in the Blue Room, which is a bar, for one of the best cocktails I have ever had. And this is the foyer where the famous mahjong scene took place in Crazy Rich Asians. We returned to Little India for one last awesome meal. And Charlize had some henna done.
You can move, you just don't want to.
Shiny. Oh my goodness.
Very cool.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Clearing out of Penang, we set sail for Langkawi with our mates on Woden, making a few little stops on the way. And we called into Singapore one last time so that we could put our plaque up with the other yachties at the Singapore Yacht Club. And we had to say goodbye to Smiley Dog, of course.
Hey, Smiley Dog.
Join us next time when we're provisioning and preparing Excelsior to set sail across the Indian Ocean. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.